Hey, you guys, I just finished up a whole bunch of meetings remote through Google Hangout, and I just cannot say enough just how interesting it is that I've had absolutely zero skin flushing. I've had calls with the executive team, I've had calls with my own team, I've jumped into other people's meetings, and absolutely zero skin flushing. And I, again, wear these low-cut shirts, just nothing. And I think that what I'm learning about myself, and I've said this in the past couple of videos, is I'm learning that I think, that was my ankle, when I am in real life with people, when there's somebody sitting across from me, I think I'm very sensitive to their energy, number one. And not that I'm trying to label myself as an empath or I just don't like labels. I don't like clinging to anything and saying this is who I am and this is how I am. This is how it's going to be, because I do believe that you can change those things about yourself. But I do believe that I am a very strong empath. I feel a lot of energy around me. It's kind of my superpower. And even in my position in the corporate world, I am a chief executive, a people officer. I oversee a post-sales function of the company. But really, if you get down to what I do every day, I bridge for people. So I don't know, I guess I can understand people on an intellectual level, and I can understand this person on an intellectual level, and sometimes there's a disconnect in their communication or where they're trying to go and what they're trying to do, or they get in their own ways, and I tend to be the person that can come through and bridge that gap for them. So if that was ever a job, a real job, that's kind of who I am. And obviously I do a lot of other things, but really my specialty in my whole life has always been bridging the gap of communication between each other, whether that's in person or in writing or whatever the case may be. But it's kind of one of those things where it's my superpower, but it's also detrimental to me, because I can get overwhelmed very easily and my system can get overwhelmed very easily. And I said in the past couple of videos that I'm discovering that I think I don't feel that somebody could physically harm me or attack me when there is an electronic between us. They're not physically in the room with me. And it's kind of given me a place to look into to see, why do I feel that way? Why do I think that way? I've never, even as a child, didn't have people physically attacking me. But somewhere in my mind, my brain, my nervous system, I think I encoded a message that, behave well and do well so that you don't get hurt. So that's been interesting. But I just wanted to send a message today to let you know, again, here we are, and I'm not having that type of response in my body, which is just very interesting to me. So bizarre, you guys. So I really don't have much to say today. I think I just wanted to check in. I almost wish I would start flushing so I can show you this video. This channel is about flushing, but I also think that I shared in another video before that there's going to be so much more to this channel than just skin flushing. I think any sort of insecurity, we don't have to isolate ourselves in just the skin flushing. We all have some sort of insecurity that we struggle with, that we are trying to move through, that we're trying to either get rid of or see how do we operate with it. And I think so much of what I want to share here is that we're going to operate with it. We're going to work on healing. We're going to work on pressing forward through any sort of thing and believing for healing. And but we're also, sometimes I think we're trying to get rid of certain things inside of us when that could be a huge part of what makes us who we are. So for me, if I'm sensitive to a lot of energy around me, that's also where my creative writing skills come from. It's where my communication skills come from. It's where, sometimes I'll just grieve on this deep level with the world around me, and I won't even know why. I just will. And I think that's part of, is that light and dark that contrast together. We never want the darkness, we only want the light. But it's the light and dark together that make the beauty of a sunset and a sunrise. And when you look at art in the contrast of painting, it's the dark and the light together that give shadows, that bring the depth to the picture. So if we get rid of that darkness, then we only have light. There's no beauty in that. So I think just navigating, what does that mean in your life? And what does that mean in my life? And what is it about ourselves that we're trying to change? Because, I've spoken before about health and wellness and It's been my journey for the past 2 years to work on my health and building muscle in my body. And I had quite a transformation in just 2 years, probably at an 75 to 80%. Let's do this. My diet's not the best. My exercise is not the best, but I made a lot of changes 2 years ago because I wanted to see a transformation in my body. So there's nothing wrong with wanting to transform yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get your hair done a certain way or put color in your hair, or, you know, like I have my eyebrows microbladed on. I don't see any issues with making changes or alterations or whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to talk to you about that stuff. But what I am here to say is that if there's something inside of you that you've been trying to get rid of, but you cannot get rid of it, it's the one thing that pulls you down the hardest. It may just be the piece of darkness that goes with your light that's going to create the beauty. And so for me, the skin flushing journey, I want it to go away 100%. If I see myself in a realm one day where I'm speaking to thousands of people in arenas, or I'm being interviewed for something, I do believe that my calling is to be public and be seen and not be hidden behind the scenes all the time, even though I would kind of like that. But I do thrive in people, with people, and I thrive in being able to speak to people. But if I'm skin flushing and I'm going to be paranoid about what are people going to think about the skin flushing, then it's going to take away or try to make me hide away, so that is not going to be present. But if I take that piece away or I run away from that, then I lose all the other pieces as well. So I'm just not going to do that. So again, I'm kind of repeating some of what I said in my last video, but it's the reason why I started this channel, was to be able to get public and put myself in a space where if I'm going to skin flush, just skin flush, and let's just learn to deal with it here. And if there were negative comments, I could learn to deal with it here. I could let my nervous system absorb what people say or what people call out, and I think some of it was when we were kids. If something happened or you had something on your face or in your teeth and somebody was like, "Ah, look at you, ah, look at her," it really gets coded into us to want to perform and be very well put together for the pleasure of having friends or having people like you and not make fun of you. Nobody wanted to be made fun of or bullied. So, and here I am, a grown-ass woman, and that's not something, if you were to talk to me about, do you care about what people think, and blah, 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 on the level that most people care what people think, but not to this degree of I'm so, oh my gosh, what do people think about me? Do I care? I would say no, I don't really give a shit. But it doesn't mean that my body is not still responding and believing something that my mind believed a long time ago. So anyway, I'm just rambling away today. There's really no substance or meaning, or here's what we're going to talk about. 3 easy steps today. I'm just having a conversation with you, which is what I would like to continue to do here. I'm not the most structured, map out the content for the next 6 months. I'm more of a just turn the camera on and see what happens. So, which is also what would happen if you and I were sitting down having coffee right now, if we didn't have to do social distancing. So just wanted to say hi and just kind of ramble a little bit about that. And I hope you're having a great day. And I will check in with you again tomorrow. See ya.